Saw that weird light up by my claim again.
Here we go again.
Time to leave.
Amazing sight, that light just floating across the hillside all by itself.
Interesting facts about famous people.
All Western TV series Jack Elam appeared in. From 1954 to 1995, Elam appeared in around 30 Western TV series, in some more episodes than others, as a thug or bad guy in some, in others a more comic role. He certainly ran the spectrum. Elam was one of the best known and admired character actors in the Western genre. His trademark was his wandering left eye. I don't have footage from all Elam's TV series, so there will be some filler here. If you enjoy this video, hit the subscribe button to get my new videos. To check out my many other videos, head to my channel. The link is in the description.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Stories of the Century, a 39-episode Western historical fiction television series starring Jim Davis, 1954 to 1955. Elam as Black Jack and Ketchum. The Lone Ranger, 1949 to 57, with Clayton Moore in the starring role. Jay Silverhills played the Lone Ranger's Indian companion, Tonto. Elam as Reno Lawrence and Jack Miles. Episodes Outlaw's Trail and The Sheriff's Wife. Frontier, described as having authentic and based on fact stories, 1955 to 1956. Elam as Father Matthias and Nez Fowler. Episodes Ferdinand Meyer's Army and Cattle Drive to Casper. Wagon Train, aired for 8 episodes, 1957 to 62, and then from 1962 to 65. The fictional adventure story of a large westbound wagon train through the American frontier from Missouri to California. Elam as Charlie Otis. Episode The John Cameron Story. The Restless Gun, 1957 to 59, with John Payne in the role of Vint Bonner, a wandering cowboy in the era after the American Civil War. Aired 78 episodes. Elam was in 2 episodes. Tombstone Territory, starring Pat Conway and Richard Easton. The first 2 seasons, 1957 to 59. The third and final season aired from 1959 until 1960. Elam as Wally Jobe. Episode Day of the Amnesty. The Texan, starring film and television actor Rory Calhoun, which aired from 1958 to 1960. Elam as Luke Watson. Episode South of the Border. Have Gun Will Travel, produced on both television and radio from 1957 through 1963. The television version of the series starring Richard Boone. Elam as Joe Gage and Schaffner. Episode The Man Who Lost and 1, 2, 3. Mackenzie's Raiders, starring Richard Carlson, was broadcast from 1958 to 59. Narrated by Art Gilmore. Elam as Trooper Colin Grimes. Episode Desertion. Gunsmoke. The central character is Lawman Marshall Matt Dillon, played by William Conrad on radio and James Arness on television. Elam as various characters. 15 episodes. Sugarfoot, aired for 69 episodes from 1957 to 61. Stars Will Hutchins as Tom Brewster, an Easterner who comes to the Oklahoma Territory to become a lawyer. Elam as Toothy Thompson, 2 episodes. The Rebel is a 76-episode Western television series starring Nick Adams that ran from 1959 to 61. Elam as lawyer Uncle Luce. Season 2, Episode 33, Helping Hand. Lawman, 1958 to 62, starring John Russell as Marshal Dan Troop and Peter Brown as Deputy Marshal Johnny McKay. Elam as Herm Forrest. Episode The Fall. Cheyenne is a Western television series of 108 black and white episodes from 1955 to 62. The show was the first hour-long Western and was the first hour-long dramatic series of any kind. Elam as Count Nicholas Potosi, Deputy D.J. Smith, Calhoun Durango. Episodes: Massacre at Gunsight Pass, A Man Called Ragan, The Dakota's Pilot, and The Durango Brothers. Laramie, 1959 to 63. The program originally starred John Smith as Slim Sherman, owner of the Sherman Ranch. Elam as Charlie. Episode: The Tumbleweed Wagon. The Dakotas, starring Larry Ward, featuring Jack Elam, Chad Everett, and Michael Green, broadcast during 1963. The short-lived program is considered a spin-off of Clint Walker's Cheyenne. Elam as Deputy J.D. Smith, series regular. Daniel Boone, starring Fess Parker as the frontiersman Daniel Boone, aired from 1964 to 70 for 165 episodes. Ed Ames co-starred as Mingo, Boone's Cherokee friend, for the first 4 seasons of the series. Elam as Petch. Episode 18, The Sound of Fear. F Troop is a satirical television western sitcom about US soldiers and American Indians in the Wild West during the 1860s. The series originally aired for 2 seasons, 1965 to 67, with a total of 65 episodes. Elam as Sam Earp. Episode: Dirge for the Scourge. The Legend of Jesse James, starring Christopher Jones in the title role of notorious outlaw Jesse James, 1965 to 66. Elam as Deacon Smith, guest star. Hondo, starring Ralph Tager, aired from September 8 until December 29, 1967, during the 1967 fall season. Elam as Diablo. Episode: Hondo and the Rebel Hat. The Guns of Will Sonnet, set in the 1870s, that aired from 1967 to 1969. Elam as Sheriff Sam. Episode: A Son for a Son. The High Chaparral, 1967 to 71, starring Leif Erikson and Cameron Mitchell. Elam as MacDinn, Comanchero. Episode: North to Tucson. Bonanza, 1959 to 73, lasting 14 seasons, 431 episodes, the second longest running Western series on US television, behind Gunsmoke, and one of the longest running live-action American series. Elam as Duty Hode, Buford, Buckalaw, and Honest John. Episodes: The Spitfire, A Bride for Buford, and Honest John. The Virginian, starring James Drury in the title role, along with Doug McClure, Lee J. Cobb, and others. It originally aired from 1962 to 71, for a total of 249 episodes. Elam as Harv Yost. Episode: Rich Man, Poor Man. Alias Smith and Jones aired from 1971 to 73. The show initially starred Pete Jewell, and after Jewell's death, Roger Davis as Hannibal Hayes, and Ben Murphy as Jedediah Kid Curry. Elam as Boot Kobe. Episode: Bad Night in Big Butte. Nichols, starring James Garner, 1971 to 72. Set in the fictional town of Nichols, Arizona. The time period was 1914, at the beginning of the motorized era and well after the decline of the Old West. Elam as Marcus A.F. Baxter. Episode: About Jesse James. Kung Fu, starring David Carradine, follows the adventures of Huai Chang Kane, a Shaolin monk who travels through the American Old West. Elam as Marcus Taylor. Episode: The Squawman. The Texas Wheelers, aired 1974 and 75, about the cantankerous but lovable Zach Wheeler, a long-lost father who returns to raise his children. situation comedy with co-star Gary Busey. Jack Elam as Zach Wheeler. How the West Was Won, 1976 to 1979. Stars James Arness, Eva Marie Saint, Fionnuala Flanagan, Bruce Boxleitner, and Richard Kiley. Loosely based on the 1962 Cinerama film of the same name. Elam as Cully Madigan.
Okay, so but that's a lot.
Anyway, it's a great game. It's a good time passing.
This show, it's
Lucky Luke, starring Terence Hill, aired in 1992, based on the Belgian comic book series Lucky Luke, and on a movie with the same title, directed and produced by the same Hill in 1991. 8 episodes were produced. Elam as Axel Eriksson. Episode Ghost Train.
Maybe the first 100 times.
Lonesome Dove, 1994. It served as a continuation of the story of the miniseries of the same name. The television series starred Scott Bairstow and Eric McCormack. Elam as Curtis. Episodes High Lonesome and The List. Temple Houston, starring Jeffrey Hunter as real-life 19th century Texas lawyer Temple Lee Houston. It ran for 1 season from 1963 to 64. The series' supporting cast featured Jack Elam as George Taggart and Chubby Johnson. If you liked this video, make sure you hit the subscription button so you will see all my new videos as they come up. Take a look at my channel to see my many other videos. The link is in the description. Leave me a comment. Check out my Facebook page as well. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. I am Wrangler. Adios. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.